Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. When I start this video, I'm going to give you the basic, some basic, what do you call it, thoughts or ideas that, and reasons why I finally got around to actually create this video. This is shit that I've been meaning to actually talk about. And anyway, what gave me the ideas and reminded me, couple of things I told my partner and other kind of people. Every time I see shit like this on the news and hear about people, I talk about this shit. Okay, for one of the things that gave me the idea and reminded me was a particular YouTube video about woke DAs versus unwoke DAs, and evidently one person in one jurisdiction getting out of shit all the time, but then somebody in another neighborhood knows of particular people and that sort of thing, and they committed crime and a bunch of things in their jurisdiction, catch them there, and they're saying no way, they're gonna smoke their ass, you know what I mean? Even though this is like racial wokeness, I wrote a long-winded comment telling people how, okay, I am one of them people that are annoyed with like white leftists and these people pulling this race shit, especially white leftists and things. But I also, in this long-winded comment, I said to explain, you know, if it's any consolation to even people watching me here, I feel I have to do this. I made a long-winded comment, said, yeah, there are white people like this, and I explained that I had a cousin that was like this. The white guy version of this, they're out there. Yeah, bear with me too. And I said how he always got out of shit because I brought up the cute one. Where I'll tell you if you bear with me where I'm going with this. He was actually basically a cute one, a kind of person who got away with shit in one area, but he did it in a county outside, and then all the shit that he did, he got caught somewhere else, and they got his butt there, and he was literally in jail crying and everything too. And somewhere along the line, I guess his life went downhill. Not to go on and on about him, but I'll also tell you, talking in parentheses too, where I'm going with this too. Oh, when I do, I'll say, by the way, if you got this far in this video, I'll give you I'll grace you with the idea of expressing your opinion in a question I got for you here. Do you think more white people have people among them who get out of shit all the time and authorities drag their feet because of who they know? If there's more white people in there because they're a cute one, or do you think black people at all I heard some stories, black people that were black that I went to school with and worked with that were friends of mine, heard some stories. But despite all the shit that I believe and I talk about in videos and what I can't stand, I'm a firm believer, quite personally, that because of people like my cousin that I spoke of, I'm a firm believer that what white people got over on black people, I actually think white people have more people among them that get out of stuff because they're the cute one. But if you know anybody that has, if you're black watching, like say if you're black or white watching, if you're like me, that I look at the unwoke black YouTubers, which I share and support out of spite, or if any other opinions, if you know anybody that happens to be black, that if you know of anybody that's black that has a cute one or anybody, I would like to know your opinion or hear it, your story, hear it from you, okay? But as far as I know, is despite all the shit that I can't stand about, like I says, the leftists and all these people, like I says, I'm telling you that that's the one thing that if you have to twist my arm, I'll tell you right now that white people have more people in it, if it's of any consolation to you, that get out of shit because they're the cute one or whatever. And I had friends in another neighborhood that were black that I'd tell them about this, and decent black people should be mad. I don't go for that racial playing people off against each other, but if anybody black had to twist my arm, I'd I'd be curious saying, hey, you know anybody? I know there are people that are like simps out there that are both black and white. Yeah, you got simps of all races. And one particular cousin of mine, he was also always. Um, and I'll tell you another thing when you got this far in this video too, which dovetails into this. I'll tell you about a book that I read passages of. I got to do the videos of it over again, about a book called The BS Syndrome. In that book, there was a paragraph on different kind of character traits of people. One of those paragraphs or chapters, he talked about Mr. Irresistible. And I always said, the Mr. Irresistible, the cute one, that can do no wrong, thinks he's God's gift to women, and for some reason, women think he's irresistible. They're even compelled to give him things. They're like a simp and even borderline gigolo, but say my cousin was like one of those. And I always said in passages like, yeah, that's one of the things that if I took that book on a lot of topics, it should be rewritten and added to. But yeah, there's a Miss Cute one, Irresistible too. But the BS Syndrome book, and by the way, I like to round up like free books I get at my local library and find books that people getting rid of, and then I've been giving them away. And I put that book by accident. I gave it away by accident. One of these days I'll order a new one and do a new reading of that book. But I'm not going to go on and on too much, waste too much time in the video telling you where I get this shit from and what inspires me. But anyway, tell this story like this. You know, they're both black people and white people, I guess. And the way I feel about these things is, this one cousin of mine was one of those, okay? He basically, even blonde hair, blue eyes, hair always cut short, dresses like a simp. He'll act like a tough guy, but he'll dress in pinks and everything. He'll go to court, knows exactly how to dress to go to court. The kind of ones that even girls younger than them and older than them, oh, cute one, and they'll even know all the bullshit that he does, and they still, oh boy, he can do no wrong, and even steals from some of them, and they know they'll even know the criminal record. Oh, and he is basically what you call, according to certain people's standards, if you guys, one of you watching would know what people like us or have a relative like us. This cousin of mine was absolutely, by people's standards, better looking and even academically smarter than me, which this is a damn shame. But I don't feel sorry for him. I think my brother told me for sure that I think he's dead. He OD'd. But like I told you, my stance on people with drug use and addicts, not to be an asshole. If you are some ex-addict that did well and did good for yourself and got out of that shit, God bless you. But I would tell you here, don't get offended by anything I'm saying. But this kind of cousin of mine that I bring into the picture, instead of you being offended, he would be that asshole that, say, if you were in some rehab or something that you wouldn't want to hang with, but he'll just drag you into shit and fuck you over, and then even laugh about it, throw you under the bus to save his own ass, even drag you down. That kind of person, you know what I mean, that would only be in any rehab or halfway house because the court forced him to. So anyway, he was like one of those. They know all that shit, but yet there was these people. He would date yuppie chicks, and they would for some odd reason. This is the kind of dude or relative that you would also wonder what the fuck kind of witchcraft did he cast on them. One of those. I seen one or two people similar to that was interviewed on Dr. Phil. Not that I watch Dr. Phil all the time. Very articulate, smart, cunning, a kind of a little bit of a gaslighter and stuff. But he would be dating yuppie chicks and prissy chicks and all that. He'd get into maybe disputes with one of them and be even beaten up and abusing one of them. And instead of any of the other chicks being mad, he would get all them mad at, that one's the bitch and she's the outcast or whatever too. stealing from each of them. Different age groups, like it would be, if they were younger than him and all that, or same age, even the chicks' mothers would think he's the greatest charming thing in the world and shit. And you'd almost like always like something like arming your arm. He'd get in these different crowds, like. And when he was like, they'd even visited him in jail. They knew everything he did, and coming out like, I don't know, they're all coddling him and shit. This is the kind of, okay, if you got this far in this video, this is the kind of shit that white people and white chicks do. Some white yuppie chicks that do. To coddle their the one that's the cute one. It's unknown to me, and very. If there was any stories I heard about any black people getting out of stuff because they were the cute one, very few and far between. Like I said, it's like they're under some kind of spell or something, and it would be like knew everything he was doing. And there was the time where it got so bad, even they started distancing themselves from him. Some of them even went to churches. And I can tell you stories, this would dovetail into another video, or how some Christian churches would be, you'd have some people that go to churches that would literally be liberals wearing a conservative's mask, and these were the kind you'd eventually distance yourself from them in a church. Oh, he can't go to jail. He's my baby. It would be the one, if you ever went to any church with somebody or knew somebody go to church. Somebody in the church would have this, son or relative or something that's always in some kind of trouble. Oh, that's my baby. And all these people I told you about that coddle them, yuppie chicks, some chicks in churches, even their parents, they'd be like, because he's a cute one, would be like I shit you not. Oh, I have to make some kind of excuses for him and be literally saying, oh yeah, I have relatives that are either magistrates or police, or go and talk to some people and get them out of shit. And what would happen, like I'm saying, is that he would finally, everything finally come crashing down when he got arrested did shit outside a police jurisdiction, and pretty much smoked his ass, and he had to do a bunch of years in jail. And then somehow, after he did time in this one jurisdiction, then the jurisdiction where he was getting away with shit all the time, somehow some people, how that should get to talking, I don't know. There was some kind of bureaucracy or formality that they would check into that, and he would be handed over and end up doing some time for other more recent shit that he got away with within the jurisdiction where he was getting away with shit, right? And even though he did, that was still small potatoes compared to the shit that he got away with, And these were the kind of, and I always wondered what kind of witchcraft that they were. That you have a relative or a cousin that was ever, I guess you would ever wonder what kind of witchcraft that they were into, because these people that would be coddling them, they went to parties and little drinking parties. Some of them that would be known to be the more prissy and uppity types that don't even go to such parties. This is the shit that happens when you have a cute one that's actually with losers, and then nothing against, no hatred toward yuppie chicks per se, but the biggest mistake they make would be compromising with losers if they happen to be a cute one that ends up. Yeah, there were ones that would ruin their own lives over people like that. But anyway, these chicks would be like, if you met any of them at all, or they would even look at you at all, some odd reason, they would hate the fact that their person was always in trouble. They make excuse of, give you dirty looks, like say I didn't do any shit to them, and they would give you these dirty ass looks. Some of them would get their friends to drive by or make some remarks while you're, like they're talking to each other, like they're talking about you, like you're, so you're listening, like, Or sometimes I had stories where I had incidents where they would walk right by me and sit in a restaurant or in a store or stop by in a car or say right to my face, "Oh, you're the reason why the world is so bad." Like it's my fault that the cousin of mine was the way he was. "Oh, yeah, you walking around with your long hair and money in your hand and eating in a restaurant all the time and have money in your pocket. Yeah, you won't do anything to help him or give him anything or give him any place to stay. It's your..." You know what I mean? I'm giving you basic rhetoric like these kind of people. Oh, and it would be, since that's a relative, some of your own relatives that you don't talk to very much that are kind of on his side, so to speak. The part of it that's certain family members that you don't trust, that I didn't tell you earlier in the video, right? Damn windy today, my hair getting on my face, but yeah, those that I should have told you in the video in the first place, these kind of cute ones, so to speak, I think I should have said in the video, always have the family members that you don't hardly talk to anyway, but yet, oh man, they would run you down like a dog and walk by, say shit to you or say shit to your face like they're mad because you're doing well. Maybe your hair is long and everything, and their person that they were coddling failed. Not that you're looking for them to fail, but I shit you not, it was like a borderline. I could make a video like this and talk about the subject of gang stalking. There was a, if you will, I can argue there was an incidence of gang stalking. Not serious gang stalking per se. You can sort of call it gang stalking, but it just stupid little walk by or drive by harassment, saying shit so you can hear kind of a thing. That kind of harmless gang stalking, like they want you to know. And like they're praying for you to fail because they're mad because their cute one, no matter what excuses they made, failed, and how you're doing well. Oh, damn you, you know what I mean? Yeah, these kind of people visited him in jail all the time. There were certain relatives I would be here. I don't know, they was always that I didn't always know them by name. These people that you happen to be around with friends or relatives, and you'd see these people, you don't know these chicks who their names are, but oh yeah, they're going to see him in jail all the time. Yeah, like I said, some of them originated in churches. I'm just trying to give you a short, basic version, not to make this a real long-ass video, but I mean, it was like really bizarre shit. And I'm figuring some of you out there probably had relatives like this. And before I end this video, I'll say, hey, if any of you know any people of any color that have the cute one like this, like I said, both black and white people have the simps and the cute ones that get away with shit. But as far as I'm concerned, this one is I can actually, in my own mind, tell you that there's more white people that have the cute one that always get away with shit. But if you or anybody out there black that knows about this shit and resents this shit, you got this far in this video, I will assure to you, if you're black and whether you like me or not, that these kinds of white people, these cute ones, their life comes crashing down in the end. They get theirs in the end, even though it takes a while. Believe me when I tell you how I know. You know what I mean? But like I said, to end this video too, I actually look at the unwoke black YouTubers to spite that other racial bullshit out there, especially out of spite too, for all the shit that happened in 2020. But this is the shit that I meant to talk about, like say, for all the time. I talked about it in videos and mentioned it, and I mentioned mostly in long-winded comments, but I had to get that out there because I told my partner I went on, and I use these videos as an outlet, so I don't be talking in her ear all the time, him and that. But this is the shit that people really know and need to get out there. I'm saying, whether you're black or white, whether you like me or not, believe me, I'm telling you, these kind of people exist among white people, and they may look like they get away with it all the time. If you're black and you do resent certain white people that do this, believe me when I tell you, they get theirs in the end. And some of us basically were sick and tired of this shit too. Yeah, but that's basically what I'm going to tell you. Just end it right here. End this.